Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and we are live once again, Tuesday Night Live here at KastKing. We've got a cool show for you guys. We've got a giveaway for both Facebook as well as our YouTube platforms. So those of you jumping in, we got people starting to jump in right now. We've just been live for 20 seconds, but those of you got to come in, and I'm going to repeat this a few times. Hit that like, smash that share button, let people know we go live. The more people we can get in here, the more often we can do these good giveaways. And guys, I got quite a few things that I can give away tonight. So please do me a favor, hit that like, hit that share. Let us know what's going on in your world. Tell your friends that we got giveaways. We got some new things to show you guys and some cool things to talk about. And we got some really cool special guests. What's going on, Scott? Gary's in the house. We got the friendliest catch. What's going on? How are you doing? Well, thank you. I appreciate that you're joining in. We got Stunt FX in here. Good evening. So, guys, like I said, do me a favor. Facebook, YouTube, hit that like, hit that share, tag some friends. And, of course, the more you interact in our comment section, the more your name's going to appear. And in our giveaways, that's how I'm going to choose a giveaway winner is from some of the comments and the interactions randomly in our comment section. So, guys, definitely keep in touch on that. And like I said, please invite all your friends. We're going to have a good show tonight. We got some new products, like I mentioned. We got some lip rippers to talk about, some new line spooling situations going on. And of course, we got some really sharp products to show you here in a few. But I also want to talk to you guys about some cool things going on in the world of KastKing. And that's, we've got some new people, new anglers always being added. We always love adding new KBAs. And then, of course, in our actual employment world, we have some cool things happening. So real quick, I want to give a shout out right now to, we have a new member of the KastKing team. Her name is Regina Gray, and she is actually a very experienced creative leader who has delivered award-winning ideas and concepts for a lot of major brands, big name brands, as well as in the industry on social media. I mean, she is, I tell you what, she's no joke. She brings a lot of accolades to the table. Again, her name is Regina Gray. She's going to be helping out in our marketing department, a lot of our social media world. But what's really cool is she's been very impactful in the fishing community in Florida. And so much that she's being inducted this weekend into the Fishing Hall of Fame through her Recreation and Wildlife Department in Florida. She's being inducted as such a key player in women's fishing in Florida into their Hall of Fame. And they're having a big event at one of the big Bass Pro Shops there in Florida. So that's really cool to be a female angler in Florida. And I mean, Florida. I mean, you've got all the greatest fishing right there at your disposal. And to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in a place like Florida, obviously Regina's doing something really cool, really impactful for the sport and for her area in Florida. But she's been recognized and being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, Regina, I want to tell you, welcome to the KastKing family. And also, congratulations on your upcoming induction into the Fishing Hall of Fame in Florida. AJ, any idea why retail stores ended up getting the Mega Jaws Elite before? Oh, well, so there's a lot of things that could be mentioned on that. I know that the Elites they're getting stocked. So it's Amazon. We have a launch coming in March. And so the official launch is going to be in March. Now, some retail stores may be getting them. Some may not have them. So like as far as like Amazon, that link and that they're not ready, but we're getting ready. I mean, we are realistically a week away from Bassmaster Classic. I know that the Mega Jaws Elite is hopeful launch for the Bassmaster Classic. So if you guys get lucky and stumble across one in an actual Academy store, kudos to you. Great luck to you. I've already heard that. I've already seen that happen. Just found that out this evening, actually, moments ago. But for as far as the official launch, March, it's coming next month, guys. Mega Jaws Elite. So be on the lookout for that. Great question. So I'm going to bring in a special guest right now by the name of Adam Robinson. He is a KBA. I'm going to bring him in right now. Here you come, Adam. Coming to the feed right here. This guy right here, KastKing brand ambassador, Adam Robinson. What's going on, man? You're also known as what, the fishing insurance agent or something to that nature?
Yeah, that is correct. The fishing insurance agent. So I'm an insurance agent and I fish a lot. So put those two together.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, maybe you're just out fishing for new clients. I don't know. Selling some insurance, have a good time. So
Hey,
you've always been,
I'm always fishing for new clients.
right? I mean, hey, got to pay the bills somehow and then give people a great product. So, you know, what's funny is you and I have actually been friends. We followed each other for a couple of years now. You're now a KBA, and that's how it starts, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out there watching these streams, again, like I said, hit that like, hit that share. We're doing giveaways, people. So the more people we can get in here, the more love we can share, of course. And that's kind of some of the things that's attracted to you to the brand. And then through time, you've become a KastKing brand ambassador. Not only were you a customer first, now you represent the company, but you've actually done some really cool things. And you and I have talked a lot in the past, but you hit me up this weekend with a really cool picture. Let me actually grab that picture, and then you can kind of tell me about that. So let's see, where is it at here? Right here. This picture right here. So this is a gentleman by the name of Robert Branagh. I always tease him because I had to ask him. I was like, am I butchering the pronunciation of your name, Branagh? Is it Branagh? But it's Robert Branagh. The GH is silent. And he just recently won a big MLF tournament recently. Tell me about what you saw when it came to this photo, because you sent it to me like, dude, check this out. Take me what was happening in your mind.
Yeah, so I'm a huge NetBait fan. Use a lot of their products, and so interact with them on Facebook and stuff. So I always see their stuff. And it popped up, and I saw the picture, and I always love seeing what was used in the tournament, what kind of equipment, what baits. And I started looking at the picture, and I instantly recognized the Mega Jaws. And so I was like, I wonder if he's a KastKing guy. And started looking around, didn't really see anything on any of the pages, and I was like, man, that's a huge victory at an impressive lake. And you know, somebody's trusting that reel. I said, somebody needs to know about this. And so I was like, hey, AJ, look at this, man. This is a big deal. I don't know if he's at KastKing or not. And so you kind of took it from there and ran with it.
Yeah, I got that. You hit me up with that message, and I was like, wait, what is this? And wait, he won, you know, and the Toyota series, you know, MLF. Like, he's up there competing with guys like Skeet Reese at times. And I mean, this is like the top tier, some of the biggest names in the industry, and he's out there whacking with them, and he's using the Mega Jaws. And what's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, is he wasn't paid. I mean, he went out and purchased and was choosing to use these Mega Jaws to compete at the highest levels. So, of course, when we see something like this, we love it. We love seeing anybody with the brand, but of course, somebody who just won a huge tournament with a heavy purse, I'm sure, you know, and then all the accolades to go with it. I sent that to some of the top brass, like, guys, check this out. Look at this. This Robert guy just killed it in Florida on Okeechobee, of all places, like some of the biggest hitters ever out there, some of the biggest fish, you know, and he's out there competing at the top level, and he's choosing to use a Mega Jaws on his own will and just won the whole thing. Like, and then of course, instantly, boop, 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 in our little, you know, company chat, it's like, wait, we got to find this guy. We got to talk to this guy. Let's sign him. Let's sign him. And well, ladies and gentlemen, we signed him. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Robert Branagh. How you doing, Robert? It's glad to have you in the show. What's going on, man?
Good, AJ. How are you doing, man? It's been a crazy couple of weeks, I say, for the least, for sure.
It has. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize because I noticed right before we went live, my internet's been up and down. So if we have a little choppiness, I do apologize, but we're going to roll with it. But Robert, so I talked about how Adam Robinson, who hit me up, he come across your win because he follows, you know, the actual, and I'm going to put the picture up there again for the people to see. He actually follows NetBait. You know, he loves their baits. He uses them all the time. And then, of course, that's how he stumbled across the photo. But then, of course, he saw the little cameo there of that Mega Jaws 7:3-1 gear ratio. Of course, for those of you who don't know, the Mega Jaws represents 4 different gear ratios by different colors. And you're using that, you know, that black one was one of the keys to your 7:3-1 to the victory. And you're using the Big Bopper from NetBaits. Tell me about that tournament. Tell me why the Mega Jaws and how long you've been using. Tell me about your.
So it's funny because I've been using the Mega Jaws for years, actually all KastKing products, pretty much all the reels, for probably about the past 3 or 4 years. And I actually talked to you a couple times at the iCast, just, hey, what do you guys got new and upcoming? And you know, you had mentioned the Mega Jaws Elite, and I was actually over at the Halo booth helping them, and the NetBait booth, which is American Bait Works. And it's funny that, you know, I got my dad using them. You know, the key word is inexpensive. It's not cheap by no means. It's inexpensive. Okay. I mean, the rod I used was inexpensive. The reel I used is inexpensive, but they're both super high quality. I mean, I've been throwing a KastKing on my frog rod with 65 braid for 2 years. The reel's been on there, and I'm a frog guy when they're biting the top water, and I've thrown it. I guarantee it's a couple thousand times.
Awesome. Well, and that's the thing too. When you're fishing at your level, I mean, anybody who's fishing a tournament, if you're fishing any half decent tournament on any lake anywhere in the country, you're using the gear and you're using it very hard. Tournament anglers who are truthfully out there trying to win a tournament are oftentimes abusive, more than the average weekend warrior. And so whether it's an inexpensive product or a very high-end and high-dollar product, just because it's high dollar doesn't always mean it's the best product out there. But man, when it comes to tournament angling, you just watch MLF live or the Bassmaster Elites live for a little while and watch the amount of casts those guys make. And then they're covering water a lot of times. They'll either completely slow it down or they are just blazing that thing as fast as they can. And to have somebody like yourself on Okeechobee, now I gotta guess you were probably flipping, right? Tossing into some heavy structure, lily pads. You know,
Actually, believe it or not, AJ, I wasn't. I was actually casting. I was casting in a bunch of wood stumps. I found a little area that had a mud bottom, but it had a lot of dead stick-ups, dead cattails. So, you know, I'm telling you that combo, and I used the same reel, the same rod, the same bait, 3 days straight, and caught easily 50 to 60 fish every day.
So that was basically a one pony show.
I caught one other fish on a popping frog with a KastKing on a 7.6 extra heavy daylight rod from Halo. It's an older model they had, but it's a great rod. And the rest of the time, I threw this reel on this rod with that bait. And every fish that got weighed in, every fish was with that reel on that rod with the big bopper.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now you said you were throwing around a lot of like laydowns or timbers and structure and things like that. So you're still fishing somewhat heavier structure, not as much punching into like big lily pads and bringing up a salad every time, but still a lot of work. Now, were you fishing fast? Like get it in the strike zone, get it out, get in the strike zone, or are you letting it soak?
No. So what it was is we had a cold front come in, and in Florida, if the water temperature changes 4 degrees, the fish they do not know what to do. They look for warm water. They will not spawn. Sometimes they won't even feed. So the key was to find some kind of warmer water, and I believe that was the key. It was a mud bottom with all the dead stick ups, the tree branches, the stumps. I mean, it was a mess where I was fishing, and it was actually the key was with that KastKing reel was, and that big bopper, I downsized the weight, was reeling it just fast enough to keep it out of the mud, but I could feel the bait just tick in the mud. Because obviously, if you get mud and junk on your bait, you're not going to get bit. But you had to do that. And you know, to tell you how thick it was where I was fishing, I basically told every co-angler that day, look, we're fishing shallow. Throw something that you're not going to get hung up, because we can't go get it because it's shallow and will muddy up the water. So if you get hung up, you got to break it.
Right.
You just can't go get it. I'm telling you ahead of time.
I understand that. Now, Adam, do you have any of the Mega Jaws series?
You know, I do not. I am going to invest in the new Elite when it comes out. When I was buying up a lot of reels, I really like the Crixus reels. I have quite a few of the Armor X and the Dark Star. I think I just kind of picked one and went with it, and I really liked those. So I wound up not having any of the original Mega Jaws.
So for those of you that don't know, I know Adam knows, but the Mega Jaws, we're getting a lot of people. Like if you're just now tuning in, you're new to KastKing, new to this family, and consumer of the KastKing world. The Mega Jaws series reel has only been available in one series of bait casters. Now there's 4 different versions, and like I'd mentioned before, they're in a 4 different color coded ratio. So you'll have the silver, which is going to represent like your 5:2-1 or 5:4-1 ratio. You're going to have your blue, which is going to be in your like your 6:1 kind of ratio. Your black is going to be represented like 7:3-1. And then of course that red is that like race car red 9:3-1. We have a similar profile in our Royale Legend Elite. But now we're starting to see the Mega Jaws family, and that whole family of reels, because it's very affordable, but yet I would say they're just right outside the box of being what we would determine as more of our higher end quality. They're still a great quality reel, but we couldn't label them as an Elite, not yet. And well, the new Elite version is coming. I mean, things like graphite frame, like you have, Rob, on your Mega Jaws that you used in your tournament. That graphite frame is still a great frame. There's millions of reels on the markets out there that have won with a graphite frame, but things like that take it out of the characteristics of what we would label into our Elite series. Well, with this new Mega Jaws Elite that's coming, like Adam said, I'm going to be getting one. You've got some really great features like aluminum frame, carbon fiber side plates, swing wing technology, like we see on the Bassinator, as well as the Speed Demon Elite and the Royale Legend Elites. You're going to have that really amazing self-adjusting true centrifugal brake system. That is a game changer right there. I can't wait to actually try it. I've seen it. I know the ups and downs of this reel, but I've never used it, and I'm going to be using it very soon. So I'm very excited for that. So it's going to be really cool. So that's the Mega Jaws. Then you have the Mega Jaws Elite that's coming. We're going to have two different series, that 9:1-1 and that 7:3-1, or 7:2-1, I'm sorry, in that gunmetal color. The 9:1-1 will still be represented in red, but we also have the Mega Jaws Elite spinning reel that will be soon to follow, which will be top of the line spinning reel. I mean, it's going to be an amazing setup. So the Mega Jaws family is looking to expand greatly. It's pretty cool. So now, Rob, you just recently signed with KastKing. What are some of the reels that you are putting into your arsenal, so to speak?
Right now, to be honest, it'll be all the Mega Jaws, the Mega Jaw Elite, which I can't wait to get my hands on. I already flipped with the racing red Mega Jaws, with a fast retrieval, and then the Bassinator. I got a couple of those. I'm gonna put them in the arsenal, and that's gonna be all I pretty much put in there. That should cover everything I do.
Yeah.
Might drop down gear ratio for trap or crankbait, which I don't do a whole lot of down here. But that'll be my arsenal. That and all the KastKing line. I mean, I'm going to be full. I wasn't aware because all I see and read was the KastKing reels, from buying them. But come to find out, now that I'm part of the team and the family, is the line. I can't wait to get my get my reels spooled up for this weekend with their fluorocarbon and their braid. I mean, it's all USA made, and I literally can't wait to put it on there. It's going on tomorrow night.
Awesome. Now, did you happen to get any of that 13X Finesse?
Yes, I did.
You're going to fall in love with that.
And I can't wait.
I'm telling you. That's going to be money for you right there. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So, guys, I've got some cool products that I want to show you guys, and we could talk about it and talk back and forth. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you guys in the comment section, if you have any questions for either Adam Robinson. Adam, what part of the country are you in, by the way?
I'm in Alabama.
So if you guys have any questions for like the region of Alabama, maybe what Adam would suggest on some of the different things that are successful for him in fishing, please throw it out there. Same thing for Rob. You fish a lot of the southeast, I'd imagine. How far do you venture in that MLF tournament? So what's your reach as far as? I'm
actually going to fish all the southern division, which is all the way up to South Carolina, and then we come back to Florida on the Harris chain, which is going to be really fun. And then, of course, we got the championship at Guntersville, which I love Guntersville. Love it.
Awesome.
Which
we have a backyard.
In the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I work all these events and I never get to fish them. Maybe one of these days I'll actually not fish the event to compete, but at least fish these different bodies of waters that I have to go stare at and can't fish. But it's so hurtful.
We have some down here, AJ, in Florida that everybody knows about. Headwaters and stick marsh that. Any cast, you could be hooking it to a double digit.
Nice. See, I want to do that definitely. Like I've been going to ICAST for, this will be my 9th year, I believe. And I've never once really fished in Florida, and it is killing me. But one of these days I will. So our first question, Adam and Rob, and I'll let Adam, I'll let you take this one first. What are your confidence baits?
For me, my first thing I'm going to go to is I'm going, especially if the weather is right, is I'm going to throw some sort of a walking bait early morning. A couple of different brands that I enjoy, but I just love. I've been walking bait around here. I really fish the Coosa River chain a lot, and so we have some pretty big spots. And getting on a beautiful point early in the morning, walking a bait across it, and just having a 3 or 4 pound spot explode is just something that is a lot of fun for me. But it's something that I feel pretty confident in as well.
And I'd say mine, same thing early in the morning. I mean, I'm a popping frog guy. I love throwing the popping frog, but the bait I use to search for fish more than any other bait is the big bopper. I mean, not just because of what happened in the MLF, but that is my go-to bait. If I'm trying to cover water and find fish, that's the bait I throw.
Nice. Now, those of you, ladies and gentlemen, just tuning in right now, I've got a giveaway for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about a couple of these products that I have sitting right here from KastKing, and I want to give you guys some products. So we're going to get into it in a few minutes. I'm going to introduce you guys to these products, but we're also going to give them away to some lucky viewers from YouTube, as well as the KastKing family that's watching here tonight. So make sure you guys are sharing this page, liking it, and commenting in the comment section, because that's how you're going to be randomly selected when we do the giveaway. So please, guys. And even if this is a rebroadcast, say you don't catch the live version of this video, you guys can still compete. So say this is Thursday night or Saturday morning, you guys are up at 2 a.m., can't go to sleep, and you come across this broadcast, please partake in the comment section and different things like that. So at least that way you can be seen when we do the random selection. And next Tuesday night, I will announce our giveaway winners from the YouTube as well as Facebook posts. So we got another question here that I'm going to throw out there real quick. And this one I got a great story on, but I'll let you guys tell your version and then I'll tell you mine. So here is question for anyone. What style of Speed Demon Pro rod for casting do you recommend for frogs? Now, Rob, you unfortunately don't throw Speed Demon rods yet. Maybe in the future. I understand you have a prior contract with Halo, obviously, but maybe down the road, who knows?
Absolutely.
So don't want to step on toes, Halo. Sorry, apologize. Not trying to get on your guy there, but you got to respect those contracts and those different those wishes. But Adam, what do you think as far as the Speed Demon Pro lines of rods for casting do you do for frogs?
So the Speed Demon Pro rod, that is the frog rod, is an exceptional rod. That's super light. I really do like it. But I got to tell you, my favorite really goes to the Spirale. That 7'3" Spirale is kind of that's a rod that I would recommend to anybody at any time. I know it's not the Speed Demon Pro, but that Spirale is just I don't know what it is about that rod, but it just speaks to me and my style of fishing. I have all of them now, and they're always on the deck. But I have lots of the pro rods too. I love them. But something about that Spirale throwing a frog with 50 and 65 pound braid, it'll sing it, man. It's really, really a fun rod to throw.
I have to agree with you because this here is a Spirale. Now I just picked this rod up. This is a new rod, and I have a ton of Speed Demon Pro rods, and I've been playing back and forth with some of the Spirales. Both of these are our Elite Series status types of rods. This is designed by Cliff Crochet. Like you said, the Spirale was your choice. I got to agree with you. This is an excellent choice if you don't go with a Speed Demon Pro. The way I would word this is Max Hernandez will tell you this from Arizona, and so will Cliff Crochet. If you're a power fisherman kind of person, and you're like that aggressive, just go for it, like swinging for the fences, this is that beefy, just burly, I don't want to word it this way, but man rod. Like it's just, you just get aggressive with this thing. And this is the 70-30 composite. So it's got a little bit of that S-Glass technology. You get that good, tip action, still fast. It's a great rod for frogs. I agree with you completely. But if you're going to go with a Speed Demon Pro, you're sold on the Speed Demon Pro, and that's what you want to go with. Here's a true story. Matt Shura, who is an Arizona pro, and I like to speak about the pros that I work a lot with. You know, Matt was playing with it, and he was using it. He goes, man, that Speed Demon Pro frog rod, he goes, I don't know, to me, it seems a little soft. Now, granted, Matt was just coming off of fishing with a company of rods that was built very similar to the Spirals. They had these spiral guides that go around them, not the microwave air guides from American Tackle, but he had they're a wrapped guide that goes around there, but they were heavy. They were just heavy, really just kind of some cumbersome rods. I've seen them. I know what brand they are. I won't talk bad about them because they are a great rod. They're just heavy, very heavy. And so when he started using the Speed Demon Pro rods, he just felt, man, these things just feel too light. I feel like I'm going to break it. I don't know. So he's like, well, what does Brent Chapman use for his frog rod? What's his frog rod of choice? So I go, well, let's call him. And Matt was like, seriously? Like, you're going to just call Brent Chapman and he's just going to talk to us? Like, and we're just going to talk fishing all day long about rods? Like, isn't he busy? Like, for a small fry? I was like, well, let's see. So lo and behold, Brent answered. And Brent and Matt had about a 30-minute conversation talking about rods all day long. And Brent Chapman, and we all know Brent Chapman is no joke. He's well earned his reputation in this industry. He goes, I will go fishing with anybody, anywhere they want with that frog rod, that Speed Demon Pro frog rod. He goes, and I will hold my own, if not win. So I thought that was a great thing. And of course, Matt was like, wow, all right, well, I'll give it a try. Now, since then, Matt, he used to wear a wrist brace all the time because he had wrist problems. And he said he'd have to wear that wrist brace religiously using that other brand of rods. Since he switched to the Speed Demon Pro rods, he doesn't wear his wrist brace anymore. So that is a true statement from some good names out there, some very respectable names. So I don't know, if you're going to go with that Speed Demon Pro, try the frog rod. It's a great action. I do like it, but I agree. I fish with them both. I have frog fish with both our frog rod, love it, and I do love the Spiral. So I don't know. It's a hard toss up for me. I say you can't go wrong with either.
At the price point, you might as well get both.
Yeah, right. Why not? All right, so we'll take some more questions here in just a second. I want to show you guys a product and get your guys' opinion on this. These are some new things, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be giving these away. But if you guys don't want to wait to give this away, for me to give it away, you guys got to have one. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to share this screen for you. And we're going to go with this one. All right, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here, and this is live on Amazon right now. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor on the screen, but if not, in the middle of your screen, you're going to see a coupon code. I always like to point that out right out of the gate because people miss it. Click that coupon. It's already a 10% off sale at $26.99 for this sale price. Click that 10% off. You get an extra savings at checkout with that 10%. Why not save 20% on this deal? Now, I don't know if you guys already have fishing pliers, and fillet knives, but I'm going to show you something because from somebody who honestly, I have every knife we sell and I cook all the time. I love to cook. I use our fillet knives and our kitchen knives in my kitchen every single day. You ought to see the blades of my knives, all the Cerakote. I work them. I work the snot out of those things. Now, so I thought, okay, and this is me working for the company. I love this brand. I thought another fillet knife. Okay, what's going to be the difference in this? And I was instantly sold as soon as I put my hand on the handle. So here's the handle right here. And one thing I can say is all of our knives have been really good about non-slip. Now you are filleting, if you're filleting catfish, we all know they're a little slick, right? Fish are kind of known to be slimy. Am I right, gentlemen? So
yes.
Here's one thing that I can say right here. It's not sharp, but this finger grip, that pistol grip right there, when you get your finger in there, it literally, and then your pinky can kind of wrap into here. It feels, this is the most sturdiest grip I can say that I've ever felt on a fillet knife, period. Not just our fillet knives, any fillet knife I've ever owned. It is phenomenal. I feel more confident filleting a fish. And I don't know about you guys. You get into 20, 30 crappie. Do you gentlemen crappie fish at all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you start filleting 20, 30 crappie, you know, to upwards of 50, depending on how many people you had with you, and you're having a heck of a fish fry, whatever, or you're getting into catfish, it can get very slimy. Have you guys ever cut yourself with a fillet knife?
Nah,
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is, dude, and they're horrible cuts. Oh my God, they're wicked cuts. And it's just, they're unforgiving, just instant unforgiving cuts. So this little pistol grip right here, as soon as I'll be truthful, like I like to look at the products that we sell, we represent, and I like to think to myself, how is this better? How is this different than what we just did? And we like to be innovative and change. And our handles have always been very nice and very comfortable. It doesn't seem like an industry leader, a breaker, like, oh my God, this is going to change the way you cut fish. But what it does for me is it gives me more confidence to not lacerate myself. Like, you can control the blade. And anybody that's ever worked in the food industry or anything to that nature, blade control is everything. It is everything. And I've got to say that this thing is just, I have all the confidence in the world that when I'm running a knife down 30th fish, hands are gooey as can be, I'm still going to have very excellent control of this blade. And of course, as you can see, with a different taper on it, very thin, this thing is razor sharp, Cerakoted. It is awesome with that polymer grip. It's going to clean up easily. You're going to be able to hold on to it. You're going to be able to fillet your fish with no problem. And then the cool little case that it locks into. It goes in very easily, snaps very easily, but comes off with very minimal effort. You see there's these little tongs or tangs to them right here. That's what latches, and it doesn't really pull off without a lot of force. It'll stay on very well. You have to, if you're going to just yank it off, you know, grab down here, or you can simply just hit your thumb and it pops right off. Way safer, in my opinion. I can't say that our blades were not safe before, but it's just when you can take a product and make it more safer. Guys, if you're looking for a fillet knife for that person in your family or for yourself or an angler that you know, this is a great option. It's a new option to the market. Great handle, great grip. You've got that orange Speed Demon look to it. You can put a lanyard around this if you need to, whatever you want. And then, of course, that little pistol grip notch right there. That trigger finger, that's killer, guys. You guys got to check that out. Now, Adam, you use our pliers, I know. Rob, you're going to be getting some use out of our pliers here pretty soon. All your products are on the way, I'm sure. But they also come as a combo, as you can see, are stainless steel, saltwater friendly. So for you Okeechobee guys down there, in Florida, just running around, going to go fish on the coast and some other stuff, this is also going to work out very well for you. You've got the cutters that are going to work great for all your plastic lines and work excellent for your braided lines. And then, of course, you have different options to choose from on your pliers, whether you want the split ring pliers or just a straight nose. And they come in several different colors to choose from. So I don't know if you guys use a lot of fillet knives. Is that a big, Adam, Rob, do you guys do? Rob, you've got to. You got to.
yeah.
Living in Florida, you got to eat a lot of fish, man.
We spec fish all the time. And cleaning 50 specs. There's usually 2 of us. Sometimes there's 3 of us. So there's more than 50. That knife right there looks like it'll be a big help for sure.
Yeah, and then it comes in a multitude of colors. You've got them with the black and the orange, and then of course, like I said, you've got the split ring plier or non-split ring plier, guys. If you're looking for a good combo to keep on the boat, and tell you what, I don't know about you guys. Do either of you keep a fillet knife in your boat, or do you wait till you get home?
No, that's one in my boat, all times.
Yeah, I wait till I get home just because I don't use the same boat when I go spec fishing.
Ah, okay. Kudos. I get it. A little different there. You got his tournament boat, and then he's got his fun boat. So nice. Well, this is a great package to keep in the boat. So, I love it. The fact that both of them are going to be saltwater and freshwater friendly. Very slip resistant. You've got the 2 different colors. I kind of like the orange because it's more vibrant, easier to spot and see. You put these down into a shaded, dark rod locker or in the bottom of a backpack or things to that nature, it'd be a little bit harder to spot. So me personally, I do love the orange option, but you know how some people are out there, they got to have it murdered out, so to speak, that whole black platform. So that's a pretty cool look right there. So guys, if you want to get your hands on, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, guys, make sure you're commenting, asking some questions, whatever it is, for whether it's for Rob, for myself, or for Adam. or you just simply go, man, sure would love to win that KastKing fishing pliers combo, or I'm going to go buy one. Just those simple comments like that alone will put you in the winning or the potential to win it and to enter to win that giveaway. But one thing that I have to stress, you got to make sure that you're following or subscribe to us. If you're following us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube, that is a must. If you're not, and I pick you and I go to verify that you're following and you're not, I get to pick somebody else. So make sure you do that, guys. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes. All right. So let's go back and we're going to take a couple questions. And then I got 2 other products to show you guys. All right. So let's look through our, anything you guys wanted to mention or shout out to anybody while I'm looking at some comments here?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to KastKing, really. Like I say, long before I became part of the team, you know, I was buying the product. So you don't have to be a professional fisherman to and go spend $300 and $200 on a reel. KastKing has several reels that I do not spend nowhere near $100 on that I've been fishing with for years. See,
that is a tried and true case that we have heard time after time after time, and we love it. Now, granted, with any manufacturer, and this goes from Daiwa, Shimano, Quantum, you know, some of the biggest reel names out there, everybody can have a product that fails. The key to it, if you ever do, guys, experience an issue with any of our products, we have a great customer service team, and all we ask is let us make it right for you. Hit us up, give us a call, send an email, and KastKing will be in touch with you shortly, and we'd love to make it right for you. But again, like you said, you've been fishing them with years on the highest tournament levels. In fact, you just won a big old fat check in the MLF, you know, using that mega jaws that you paid for yourself. And now KastKing goes, you know what? We got to hook this guy up. We got to help him out. So I just had a question here that I was going to post. Where does it go? Where did it go? That's the funny thing is as the comment section runs, it runs away from me before I can click on it. And then I look away for a second, then it's gone. But basically I'll find the comment, but it was worded. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Now, Scott Hooten has been asking a lot of questions. He's a curious cat, obviously. So Adam and Rob, you can only take one rod and one reel fishing. Which do you take?
I can answer it pretty quick.
Dibs.
You know, I would take this rod with this combo right here that I can switch up. It's not a KastKing rod, but as you know, I'm under contract with Halo.
Oh no, please feel free to describe. I mean, the action, everything. Yeah, no, we're cool.
And here we go again. You know, Halo's another company that is very similar to KastKing. This is a $99 reel or rod, $99 rod. It's a 7.6 heavy, fairly fast tip. I run braid on one, I run mono on the other, and I run floral on another, and they all have the KastKing Mega Jaws reel. Now, here's what's cool about the KastKing Mega Jaws reel. When I got my rod sock on and I look in the box, I look at the bottom of the reel because when you buy the KastKing reel, it comes with these tags. And every one of my reels, without flipping the reel, you know, I got 20 rods down in the box. I lay them so I can see this. And this one says right on it, 15-pound floral. My other one will say 50-pound braid. My other one will say 30-pound braid. My other one might say, you know, 12-pound mono on it. But with that tag, and if I want to change it, they send you a bunch in the box. You just peel it off and right on. So if I had one reel and one rod, that would be mine. It's the XD3 by Halo, 7.6 heavy with the KastKing Mega Jaws.
Nice.
I would grab the 7.3 Spirale and probably the Armor X at this point. I love that combo. It's done really well for me, and it's really versatile. I've thrown topwater, I've thrown spinner baits, I've thrown frogs. It has been really good for me. It's stiff enough rod that it can handle the big stuff, but it's got enough tip that it gives you some ability to throw different baits. It's been really good rod for me all around the board. I have a couple of them.
Now, if I had to choose, and I'm going to cheat on this one. Sorry, it's my show. I can cheat a little bit. So, so if I had to choose one bait casting setup, I would have to go after the Carolina rig rod in the Speed Demon Pro. That rod, you can Texas rig, you can do some flipping with it. It's got a nice bend to it to where if you had to throw crankbaits on it, if you had to throw a frog on it, but like I said, you can still flip with it, throw spinner baits. It's just that good all around. You could get away with murder with that rod. I mean, it allows you. It's a very versatile rod, and at the same time, like you said, you'd have to go with that Spiral because it has a very similar action to it. And so I agree with you there. But if I had to go with one, the lightness and the flickability and just the comfort of that Carolina rig rod, to me, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm buying a Speed Demon Pro rod or I'm buying a Spiral rod, first rod I'm ever going to buy, and my only rod, what rod would you say in a casting rod?" I'd go with that Carolina rig rod because to me, I've just seen it perform excellent in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. And from working shows over the years since our Speed Demon Pro rods have been out, that has been the one rod that a huge majority go, "God, that's my go-to rod all the time." And it's one of my go-to rods as well. Now in spinning, I'd have to go with a shaky head Speed Demon Pro, just because you can drop shot with it. You can still obviously shaky head, do some jig worm finesse kind of stuff with it. It's got enough of a backbone that you can really set it if you need to, but then it's got that real forgiving fast tip for your finesse ability. So that's my take on the matter. I know I cheated. I brought spinning into it, and I talked about two rods, but just saying.
Willie, the thing is, Scott, is that 7.3, in my opinion, that 7.3 to a 7.6 range is probably your most versatile length. In your medium heavy to medium, I think you can pretty much cover everything you want to do with that if you only had to have one rod on the boat. That's just
Yeah, so we've got 7.3 Royale Legend Rod, 8 1-to-1 Bassinator Elite Ultimate Jig setup, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a killer setup. I've got pretty much all the rods that we sell for the most part and we produce. And man, that Royale Legend series, or it's now known as the Royale Select, that was such a great series of rods. Our Speed Demon
It's a beautiful rod.
Yeah, it's a fantastic rod. It really is, especially at the price point. Our Speed Demon Pro rod's amazing. Like you mentioned about the Halo rods, Rob, that those rods are they're affordable, but doesn't mean they're cheap. You don't have to go out there and get a $300-400 rod to get some of the nano resins, technology like we see in our rods, the Fuji guides, the American top of the line American tackle reel seats and guides, and AAA manganese cork and true wind grips. I mean, there's manufacturers out there that are working their butt off to accommodate to I don't want to say the average Joe or the person who can't afford those rods, but maybe to the people who just can't justify spending that much. I'm looking over my shoulder, make sure my wife doesn't throw a shoe at me whenever I order rods and reels, and I'm not even buying $300-400 rods and reels, So there are great products to be had out there, but there are those individuals that feel if I didn't spend $400 on a rod and $380 on a reel, it's not good. And that's not the facts. No,
true story. So a company came out with a reel, and the price point's $150 on one model and $199 on the other. I bought each.
Yeah,
I've broke them 4 times, and my KastKing hasn't broke once. That's $65. I could have bought 3 of those and one time 4 of those for those others. So it's not the price point. It's an inexpensive but a quality made. We used to say back in the day cheap, but that's not true anymore.
Yeah, and especially like we work, if it's manufactured direct and you cut out a lot of the marketing and the distributors and wholesalers, I mean, that's where a lot of the savings are made. So that's
it's affordable. And I got to say this, I think that KastKing's customer service doesn't get enough recognition sometimes, because I've had stuff break. I mean, it happens. It's fishing.
Right.
And just being able to reach out and talk to them, they've always been wonderful, and say, "Oh gosh, so sorry to hear about that. Let's get you taken care of." You really can't do that with some of the other brands that I've dealt with in the past, and that was one of the things that sold me on KastKing years ago, was customer service and people like AJ, man. You just don't get that somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We've had a couple late night conversations.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this. Now we're talking rods, we're talking reels, and we're going to keep taking some questions, but I find a great opportunity to talk about this right here. Now I don't even have this one out of the package, and I know there's a video just hit YouTube, and we did a giveaway on this. This is the KastKing. It's another mobile line spooling station. This one right here is the Calibrate, as you guys can see. This is a killer setup, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't seen this, this is a great thing to check out. We gave one away. Actually, we have a really cool promotion on that giveaway, and I'm going to tell you about it, Rob. I don't know if you've noticed. You're new to the family. But this one right here is not the first one I've ever had in my hands. The first one I ever had in my hands was the first one we ever made off the assembly line. And it's a really cool thing that we did, and that video is on YouTube, is basically right here in this area, we put the serial number for that person that won it and their name on it. They got the very first one off the production line. It was made into a special package and sent straight to that person, that winner, in a special box. And of course, I got it first because I got to do a little marketing. It was funneled by giving away AJ. I gave it to him. Nikki's going to be doing some giveaways on her show, and I'm going to continue to hopefully do these similar giveaways. But guys, that's one reason why you got to follow KastKing on Facebook, Instagram, whether it's YouTube or even TikTok. We always do these giveaways. And how cool is that, Rob? I don't know if you've ever worked for another company or been with another company that is going to be doing first off production lines. You get the very first one with your name on it. And say somebody is a huge fan of Rob, this Rob guy that just won with this net bait and this Mega Jaws 7-3-1, but I want him to sign it. We could possibly arrange that. Have that very first one come, send it to yours, to have you autograph it, and then you send it to him. Those are options that are possible that we could possibly do. I can't promise on every single one, but those are some of the concepts that we're going to be releasing in our KastKing Collector Series, and this was the first of it. Now, so guys, watch out for that. Check out that YouTube video and be watching for when we do more of those. But what this is, Rob and Adam, this is, and ladies and gentlemen at home, a mobile line spooling station. And if you guys haven't checked this thing out, it's really cool. So you ought to see the videos on it. Al Norker's done some cool videos. This is a lot like some of our other spooling stations. Now you can do spinning reels and you can do bait casting reels and get that true, accurate, perfect spool every time. Now, Rob, Adam, I guarantee I know you guys have done this. How many times have you guys stuck a fishing spool of line between your feet or had somebody with the pencil stabbed through there and you guys are fighting, or it's running all over the house and the cat's chasing it or the dog's chasing it, or it's in your boat getting hung up, or you're running it in the snacks? Have you ever been spooling it in your boat on the fly and you can't control it? You got a lot of things going on. You're trying to get back into fishing and the line went around something and you actually say it's fluorocarbon and you ran the line across like your windshield or something. Now you're like, great, did I just compromise it? Those are things to take into perspective. Well, with these mobile line spooling stations, it gives you the perfect spool every time. It eliminates those options and you can do it by yourself on the fly. They will clamp to the rod on this one and you can get the perfect spool in the correct orientation. And that's a thing a lot of people make a mistake on, is they will take the line off backwards, especially on a spinning reel, and then not pay attention to that orientation the way it's supposed to go onto the reel. For those of you in the comment section watching, and if you've never heard of this, can be a problem. That can plague you. It could be why you're having an issue. If the line's coming off incorrectly off the spool and going on backwards onto your reel rather than its memory, that's how when you open that bill, you get a whole bunch of loop and line out or overruns and things like that. It could be because it was spooled backwards or something of that nature. Well, with this, as long as you use a lot of our line spooling stations, you will eliminate that. Now, what makes this one different, if you already have, say, the V10 rod rack or our other mobile line spooling station, this one right here, you see the little button for people who do vertical jigging or some deep sea fishing or all kinds of different stuff, like say you got a 300-yard spool and you want to put 150 exactly on this reel and 150, or you just, who knows how technically you get in your stuff. This right here is going to allow you to calibrate, hence the name Calibrate, and know exactly how much line is going on your reels. That's a pretty cool, innovative design from KastKing that you just can't beat. I mean, it's really awesome. And for under like 30, 40 bucks, It's killer. Do you have any mobile stations, Rob, that you use or anything?
No, I'll do the old wedge it between the seat and the center box and hope it doesn't backlash or catch anything. But what I'd really like about that is you can measure the amount of line, because we're not going to spool up 250 yards or 200 yards of fluorocarbon. We can't cast that far, right?
Right.
So what's cool about this, we back it with mono. We can peel off, 50, 75 yards. Now we can measure exactly the 75 yards to go on the first time. Once that knot's in place, we know every time. So that's going to come in super handy for that.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I've got to put my order in for one of those. I haven't done it yet, but that's exactly what I want it for. Because I mean, even with the value of KastKing's line and the great price that it is, I mean, you still, like you said, you don't want to put 200 yards of fluorocarbon on a reel when you really only need maybe 100. So I like the fact that I can fill it and know exactly how much filling's on it and how much fluorocarbon's on it, or braid.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's killer. I mean, like you'd mentioned, fluorocarbon can get expensive. Now, KastKing, of course, we love. To me, I get a decent discount, and I go straight fluoro the whole way. So it doesn't bother me. I work really hard. I work a lot of hours. So if I want to run 100% fluoro, great. But other people will argue, like you said, hey, it's expensive. I'm never going to use that much. I'm going to use a liter. I'm going to use this. I'm going to do that. This helps that type of person dial that in and get it perfect. For me, I exceptionally love these line spooling stations just so I can get that perfect spool every time. I'm not asking my wife. I'm not asking my buddy. I'm not asking my kids to help me hold this or this and that. I go to my V10 rod rack, or I go to these mobile stations, whether I'm in my kayak or my boat, and I can get that perfect spool every time. And the ability to just be able to calibrate and know exactly how much line you're putting on there, it's killer. It's killer. It's worth every penny of it. Now, there's an unsung hero in those packages. These guys right here are a product all in themselves. So, Rob, you're new to the family. I don't know if you have anything like these. These are great to keep tension when you're putting the spool. If you look on the video, you can see that it's hanging from the spool. That helps you get the perfect tension too, and you can adjust it, right? You can adjust it. Now, these are also sold by themselves through KastKing.com and on Amazon. But what these are exceptional for, I don't know about you, Rob and Adam. I know you guys are probably like me. I've probably got 20 or 30 spools of line that are half used right now.
Yep.
And if you open that box up and there's that, it just unwound and you're having to get them. And how many times have you just cut some off because you're just frustrated? Oh, geez, clean this up.
Oh,
it's a waste. That's even more of a waste than putting pure fluorocarbon on a reel that you don't need on there.
Yeah.
You know? These guys right here, once you cut that line, because you can see the little eyelet right here that the line feeds through. Once you've wrapped that around a spool and you cut that line and you go to a different one, they store perfect every time. It will eliminate all that overrun, all that loop, all that nasty chaos that we all dread when we get into our fishing line storage boxes and go, oh man, they're all tangled. This right here, when you get a couple of them, start using them, you fall in love. And you get 2 of them with our line spooling stations. But you can buy them in packs of 5 by themselves. And to me, they're worth every bit of it. You can't go wrong. So that's the KastKing Calibrate line spooling station. And guys, in the comment section, and we're running a little long here, coming up on the hour-long show, and we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick. Hate to keep you guys on too long, but that is one of the options you guys can win. So if you guys want that KastKing Calibrate and you need that to make your life better in the line spooling station, definitely make sure you guys are commenting, sharing this video. All right, let's take a question here if we can find one. Let's see.
Yeah, we can't go much more than an hour because I'll have to buy everything KastKing has if you keep putting it up.
Right, I'm just. But wait,
I got to order
there's more.
a knife and another pair of pliers tomorrow. Because on that knife, even if you people out there aren't fishing, I'm a big hunter and I actually use fillet knives, and that one right there with the thumb with the finger hole in it, that's going to come in real handy.
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't fillet a lot of fish anymore. I practice a whole lot of catch and release. Don't get me wrong. If I can get into some crappie this year, there's gonna be some fillet fish.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna happen. And my wife's been hitting me up a lot lately. She loves fried catfish, so I'm gonna have to fillet some fish for that. So that's definitely gonna help. But yeah, like, I mean, I have our first fillet knife we ever first came out with. That thing is just beat up and just keeps on horrifically cutting like these razor sharp cuts, man. I break down briskets with it. I break down vegetables with it. It is honestly, and I used to have very high end Kershaw knives. That was my go to kitchen knives all the time. And since then, I use KastKing knives on my kitchen counters every single night. And when I get off this program, I'm going to be using those knives. So, and once I'm done with these on my video work that I got to do, guess what? They're going to start cutting veggies and meats as well. So, one of the other comments I can't find questions was finesse baits, because the person in the comment section that asked that question was Adam. Rob, what are your go-to finesse techniques?
I have two things that I have on the deck at all times, especially here on the Coosa River. I'm going to go the drop shot and a shaky head religiously, and that's going to be on the wide eye rods, 13 with the 13x braid to probably 6 or 8 pound KastKing covert.
Okay.
And I would say in Florida, you know, we don't. I mean, there's a couple guys that fish the drop shot here, but shaky head as well. And believe it or not, you know, there's two baits that I'll use, and you're gonna laugh, but the big bopper, I'll throw it weightless, nail weight it. Might nail weight it in the middle, might nail weight quarter inch up from the tail, might nail weight it in the head and put it higher on the hook. It all depends on, you know, the wind, what I'm fishing, cattails, reeds. And then NetBait also makes one, and you can get it at Walmart. It's called a salt stick, and it's Ozark. And what it has is salt in it, so you don't have to nail weight it. You can throw it weightless, and it sinks down like the old Senko does, but it's a lot more durable. So those would be my two finesse baits.
Now, would you say that NetBait Big Bopper, is that kind of like, it looks like almost like just a standard curly tail worm, but it almost looks like it's a blend, a hybrid between a Senko, like a light duty Senko, and almost a trick worm, I guess?
Yeah. So what it is I actually have one here. What it is
oh yeah, that actually does look like a Senko.
The Okeechobee crawl, but yeah, if you were to take that off, I mean, it basically looks like a Senko.
Like a 4-inch Senko, yeah.
4-inch Senko. And believe it or not, well, I mean, my tournament win, that's a small bait. It catches big fish. Now, NetBait is coming out. This is called the Big Bopper. I just got the prototypes. I tried them last weekend. They work incredible, but they're coming out with a Mega Bopper. Which is a lot bigger. So
now, is that kind of like reminiscent of those old jelly worms from
No, it's gonna be a speed worm.
Yep, speed worm.
It's just gonna be a larger one, kind of like a Bitters speed worm, a lot fatter, a lot bigger profile. But I'm gonna tell you, one of the big keys, you know, a lot of times when it's cold, the fish will bite and they'll spit it. You know, they'll be on, you'll make sure they're on, and all of a sudden they're gone. American Bait Works is also coming out with something that I have prototype in the boat called Bait Fuel. And Bait Fuel was designed by an actual college that has a division in the college that studies all kinds of fish feeding, fish activities, when they feed, when they don't feed, what they do when they're not feeding. And they helped develop this bait fuel by a scientist. And I believe that was the key. I soaked these baits in bait fuel, and every bite that I got, let's say 98% of every bite I got, never let go of the bait.
Was it more of like they choked it kind of thing, or they didn't
choke it? When they grabbed it, they didn't spit it. They grabbed it and they held on to it. So, you know, in the cover I was in, sometimes if my line was around, let's say a head of dead cattails, I could let that fish swim out from them cattails and set when they got by, instead of setting as soon as you felt the bite. Most cases, if you do that, by the time they get around that, they're going to spit that bait. They never spit that bait. So the action of the Big Bopper, and I'm a firm believer 100% that bait fuel had a huge part in that.
You heard it, guys. Bait fuel.
Net bait will be impregnated with the bait fuel. So you can buy it in a bottle to add to your favorite bait, or you can buy it already impregnated into the net bait product.
Nice, nice. Now, Rob, I got to ask you, do you use any of these?
No.
Now, fishing in Florida, are there any toothy critters that you can imagine? Because I know you primarily bass fish, so you wouldn't use these much.
Yeah.
But in Florida, have you ever seen a need for things like these?
Absolutely.
What kind of fish? Like for me, I live in Arizona. There is no oceanfront property, even though it's been advertised that. What kind of things should I look out for and bring these along for?
Are you talking about in freshwater, or you want to go in saltwater?
Say I come to Florida and you're like, hey, let's go out on the coast and let's go hook some stuff.
Well,
should I bring these and why?
Yes. Because if not, you'll come home with no thumb.
With no thumb?
No thumb. They'll rip the skin right off your thumb. There's probably 50 species of saltwater fish that if you go to lip them, you will not be fishing the rest of the day, I promise you. And if we go freshwater fishing and we catch a grinner, or better known as a mudfish, and you lip that, you are not going home with any skin on your thumb.
So say we're out, and that's so freshwater and saltwater, we have things to worry about in Florida.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So whether you're fishing for like walleye and some different things, there is a need in the freshwater community, not so much in my area, but I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a need for sure. Or if you're just one of those people who are like, ew, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. It's gross.
Here we go again, guys. Now I got to order that.
Exactly. So guys, if you guys are looking to keep your hands protected from toothy critters, or you're just that one person that's like, I don't want to touch it. It's gross. It's gross. Well, this can definitely help you to keep your hands off the ooey gooey critter, or keep you from getting a thumb bit off, like Rob's saying. And I'm sorry, but I do really, not just for PlayStation. I do like these guys. I want to keep them around. They really help, especially like when I have to like float the lime to the top. I really need these guys. So check them out. This is the new lip grippers. Now, these have been out for a couple weeks now, but these are, guys, these are a no-brainer. You can get them in a multitude of different colors. Again, that same plier setup like we saw on the fillet knife. Let's say you're not in the market for fillet knife, but you are looking for a set of pliers, and you could really find a use for the lip grippers to keep your hands protected from the ooey gooey or from the toothy critters. You got the same type of options that you had with the fillet knife. You can either get it with the split ring pliers there, as you can see, or you can get the straight nose. You do have the carbide nippers. They are going to be stainless steel 304 stainless steel. That is going to be excellent for saltwater, freshwater. You do have the polymer style grip that does have that Speed Demon color to it. All the different tooling for crimping and things like that. Cut braid with ease, as well as all your plastic lines. And guys, I'm telling you, if you don't have a set of split ring pliers and you're just using your thumb or something else to open them split rings, man, join the 21st century and get a set of split ring pliers. Thank me later. I mean, they are just for changing out dull trebles. You will love it. But the cool thing is they're offered in, like I showed you, the lime green, the Speed Demon Pro orange and black, and then, of course, the solid black pliers and lip grippers. Now, guys, $25.99 is the normal price. There is that 10% coupon box. Make sure you click that before you select which color you like, or whether you want the split ring or the non-split ring pliers. They're definitely something to get. Now, if you want to win them, if you guys want to win these pliers, you can. You possibly can. Now, only one person is going to be selected from Facebook and one person selected from YouTube. So your odds of winning, they're decent. They are very decent, but make sure you like and comment, and you're following us on YouTube, or subscribe to us on YouTube and following us on Facebook. It's as easy as that to be selected to win at random. So if you're watching this rebroadcast, you still have a chance. Watching it live, of course you have a chance. Just make sure you're commenting and following. Now, if you're going to buy them, you can't wait. You got to have them. You got to have them before the weekend. Well, Amazon Prime is the way to go. $25.99. Click that 10% off and get them ordered, guys. It's all it takes right there. Now, gentlemen, we have definitely exceeded that hour time. And a lot of times now, sometimes I'll go an hour, I'll go a half an hour. I got to thank you guys very much. So for those of you guys who've maybe tuned in late, you don't know, we've got Mr. Rob here on the bottom of the screen. He is a MLF pro who recently, this is new news, this is you seen it first. Rob, Branagh, not Branagh, Rob Branagh, that you are our newest pro angler on the KastKing staff, and you're an MLF pro who recently just won. What was it? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago, won an MLF tournament using KastKing Mega Jaws reels that you've been using for a long time on your own whim. So of course we had to give the love back to you. Say we got to hook this guy up. We got to help him. So Rob, on behalf of myself and all the KastKing family, from the top brass all the way to the KBAs, Adam, of course you had a major role. You kind of sniffed him out of the woodwork, with that picture and got it ball rolling fast. And that's what we all dream about when we go and fish these tournaments, whether you're fishing that local weekend tournament and you win it, and you're thinking all the sponsorships are going to come in now, and I'm going to make it rich. Well, hey, you know what? This is one of those stories where it actually happened. You went and you used our gear. You won a major tournament. You've been killing it. You've been doing good. You just had a 7th place finish this weekend in a fairly large tournament on Okeechobee as well. Was it Okeechobee or what lake was it on?
Okeechobee.
Yeah. So you've had back-to-back great weekends, cash and checks, man. That's what we love. That's what we love. If we can break even, we're doing well. If we can make a profit, oh my Lord.
Yeah. 2022 has started with a bang. And I'd like to thank KastKing too. I mean, just hearing you guys talk from the warranty and doing this talk show and everything. I mean, it feels like a family, and really we'd have to have another hour to explain to you how it come full circle, but it really came full circle. I mean, all the way from your pro crochet, I'm on a team that I didn't even know I was part of the same team with KastKing until now. And it would literally take another hour to get in. So I really appreciate the offer, and I can't wait and for the year and the next year and so on and so forth. And we're going to give it our all.
We're excited to see your journey, man. We're glad to have you. Thank you very much, Rob. Rob, before I turn you loose, is there anything you want to tell the people who want to follow you? Say people want to see your journey with KastKing, or they want to follow you on MLF. How can they follow your social media platforms? Where can they find you? What do you got going on? Here's your moment to have the people follow you as a fan.
Yeah, Facebook, Robert Branagh Fishing. I'll be updating that quite frequently. I got some really cool stuff coming up from, exactly how I rigged the bait for the win. I'll go back through my gear again from my equipment. Adam, as you know, there's a lot more to it than just reels and line and rods, and I'll be doing segments for that. For those of you that have tons of questions on what motor simple as what motor tote should I use.
Huh?
So I'll go through that with everybody, and if anybody's got any questions, you can reach me through that or through KastKing, I'm sure, and we'll get together. And I'll be glad to answer any questions y'all might have.
Awesome, Rob. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for being a part of the show, and have a great night, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Adam. And then there was two of us. Adam, you've been a KBA for a little while now. You've been a friend of mine on social media. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad to have you on the show. Is there anything I can do for you, or any shout out you want to give to anybody? And how can people find you to follow you in your social media platforms and the adventures that you partake in? I know you've got a bow project you've been working on. I know you just had knee surgery too. So
yeah, 2022 was set up to be a big year. I had 27 events planned to fish, and 4 weeks ago I had an unfortunate accident that required plate and 9 screws to be put into my knee, and so it'll probably be about June before I get back in a boat comfortably and be able to fish all day. And that was unfortunate, but I love this sport so much. I'm kind of getting where I'm doing some stuff on the side. I want to start building some jigs and some things like that. But you can find me. It's Adam Robinson on Facebook. I'm going to have an actual fishing page coming sometime later this year. That was one of my projects for until he kind of got sidetracked with the surgery. But and then it's the_insurance_ fishing_agent, sorry, on Instagram. So, but I really want to give a shout out to you, AJ. I really appreciate everything you've done for me through the years. You've always been a great friend, and you've pointed me in the right direction. But man, just KastKing in general, everybody from Jose to Coach, man, they've just been so great. And this company has just meant a lot to me, and I'm really glad that I could be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know like Jose, Gus, Tom, you referred to him as coach, some great guys right there, some good individuals, a lot of guidance from those guys, and KastKing, that's what's great about us, for those of you watching, being a KBA or KastKing brand ambassador, such as Adam Robinson right there, and we have a ton of others that share those responsibilities. If you ever have questions, we may not know the exact answer. I know a lot of the answers because every week I have to study these products, know them, and I use them dearly. But the KBAs are there to help you as well as myself. So if you have any questions, you're looking to make a purchase, you're like, man, should I get that Spiral rod? Should I get that Speed Demon Pro? Okay, so what's the big deal? What's the difference between a Royale Select and a Speed Demon Pro or a Para G2? That's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys hit those KBAs up, hit them up in those group sections, in those chats, private message them and say, hey, can you answer this for me? Or can you point me in the right direction? As KBAs, we love to reach out to the fans, to the consumers, to the friends in the fishing community and give answers, everything that's relatable to KastKing. Or if you just need a fishing tip, I guarantee you get any of the KBAs talking about fishing, you may not be able to get them to stop. So, Adam, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. I appreciate it. You've been doing great. I hope you get over that. You're back to work finally, so that's a good thing. Yeah. You're on the road to recovery. I've had a knee replaced myself. It's not fun. I'm actually getting cortisone shots in my shoulder neck tomorrow and scheduling an MRI. I really hope I don't have to get shoulder surgery. I can still hook set like this though, so we're okay. But anyhow, Adam, thank you very much for coming on. Take care of that knee and have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and then there was just one. Guys, my name's Give It Away AJ, and it's exactly what I want to do for you guys. So if you guys are watching this live and you've been with me throughout the duration of the show, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. You guys are awesome. And of course, I want to hook you up and give you giveaways. And of course, more shares, more likes, and bringing more individuals in. That's what keeps the head honchos at KastKing saying, you know what? Give it away, AJ. Just give it away. Let's hook up the people. And we love doing that to you guys. So whether you see us at the Bassmaster Classic, at Redcrest, at ICAST, or any of the other fishing shows that we're going to be at throughout time, definitely come see us. You never know. You could get entered to win and possibly take home some really great products from KastKing. So if you're watching the rebroadcast of Tuesday night, Thursday night, Wednesday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even up to Monday night, before I go live next Tuesday, I'm going to pick somebody out at random. So if you watching the rebroadcast, still partake in the directions that I've laid out there, comment how you use the product, why you want the product, or just hit some friends up. Make sure you're following us on whatever platform that you're on, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, and then give us a like and a share. And that's it. We're going to pick you at random, and you can win your choice of the products that I showed here tonight. Guys, my name's AJ Gore, and I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday night.